Let's talk about it. Today we have Umar's favorite radio personality, Baba. They have a long-standing relationship, and he's done numerous videos with Umar Johnson regarding FDMG. Just to give a little context before we get into clip, Baba has never given Umar any pushback, and it's probably why he's one of the few who's get consistent interviews with Umar because he believes anything he tells him, hook, line, and sinker. With that being said, let's get into the clip.
Anti-black people in Wilmington, Delaware. We're going to hear some more from Dr. Umar Ifatude Johnson.
Now check this out, Bob. One of the reasons I took issue with the deputy chief of staff's email to this random YouTuber is not only did he lie and claim that there were multiple follow-ups with us when we heard from nobody about anything from March the 7th until August the 8th when the sheriff put that sign on our door, but this is also a pattern with the city of Wilmington with regard to the FDMG Academy, Baba. They give out our information to anybody who calls.
Wow.
There's no privacy. There's no confidentiality. There's no discretion. Anybody who calls that city with questions.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. If you don't want to be all up in the camera screaming, hit the PayPal and hit the Cash App. I put together a step-by-step guide that shows you how to turn commentary into cash for only $27. Hit the link in the description below.
About the school, they will tell them all of our business. This is how most of the haters have gotten the school's information because they voluntarily share information with people who don't even live in the city of Wilmington. They don't even live in the state of Delaware.
Umar must not be familiar with something referred to as public record. That's how people are able to access this information. A lot of this stuff is online. It's just you have to be able to search and look for it. That's why Umar intentionally, if you ever notice, he'll change the name of the school to make these things harder to search for, but it's all public record.
And they just share our information.
Is it public information, though?
Say that again.
Is it public information?
Some of it is public, but not all of it is public. You see.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, Baba, he told a blatant lie. He told a blatant lie. He said from April to August, I'm quoting him from the YouTube video that somebody sent me because I didn't even know that he was communicating with a YouTube hater.
Mm-hmm.
He said, quote, from
I thought Umar Johnson didn't watch YouTube struggle streamers.
April through August, multiple follow-up attempts from the finance department regarding the outstanding fees. Baba, we heard from nobody at all about anything from the city of Wilmington from March the 7th until August the 8th. 5 whole months.
Well, would that be defamation? And a lot of people, not a lot, but some people have asked me, what about your legal counsel and advice? What have they been saying?
I'm working on that. And the reason I'm working on that, Baba, is I don't think this is going to stop until we push back.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to continue to play games with us.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to continue to be hostile towards us. They're going to continue to be negligent towards us. And they're going to continue to discriminate against us. So let me.
Now he's trying to play the racial white supremacy card. Again, this is a common theme with Umar Johnson is he always avoids accountability. It's never his fault, no matter what happens with this FDMG school, even though he's the superintendent, the principal, the janitor, he's the one and only member on the board of directors. Nothing never falls on him. It's always someone else. Umar Johnson has mentioned in previous videos, he was aware of these vacant property fees. And according to him, he reached out to the city of Wilmington. And when he didn't hear anything back, I guess he just threw his hands up and gave up. I mean, even if we were to believe that story, that's not going to make the fees go away that you owe. So why not use your social media to put the city of Wilmington on blast if this was true? You use your social media to expose his ex-girlfriend or jump off or whoever she was. He had no problem posting pictures of her online, text messages, and exposing her. So if you couldn't get into contact with the city of Wilmington for over 5 months regarding these vacant property fees, why not put them on blast? You have a large social media following. You always posting how you get 67, 70 million views a month on your Instagram. Why not put them on blast and force their hand if this was true?
Let me fast forward. So March the 7th, I get the letter. Excuse me, the letter was mailed March the 7th. I probably got it the last week of March, first week of April. I immediately called the Secretary of Delinquent Accounts. She said, see what L&I has to say. It comes from them, not us. We just carry it out. I talked to the Secretary of Vacant Property. She tells me she's going to give me a call back. She's going to look into this and see what they can do. Now, what they're saying, Baba, is they don't retroactively apply vacant property registration fee waivers, right? I can understand that. But I asked for a one-time exemption.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't give it to me, just say that so we can move on.
Right.
I want to make this point very clear, Bob, because what they're leaving out, because they're saying, well, we don't apply it retroactively. The man asked you if you could do it this one time because they just paid $30,000 in water.
Sir, if they just told you they don't apply it retroactively, what do you need to ask them about a one time for them to waive it one time? They've already explained that to you. So this whole point that he's trying to make is basically, I was waiting to hear back to see if they were going to give you this one time exemption. They already told you they don't apply it retroactively. So right then and there, you should have known, like, hey, we need to get on a payment plan. We need to do something so we don't lose these buildings. Again, when you start to, dive into the details, Umar Johnson's stories never make any type of sense or follow any type of logic.
And instead of just telling us, no, we're not going to do it. You either have to pay it or get a payment plan. But we're not going to. Baba, she completely ignored me. Like I told you, I emailed her April 1st. She did not respond to my email. I emailed her April 4th. She did not respond to my email. I emailed her April 7th. She did not respond to my email. I emailed her April 16th. She did not respond to my email. I spoke to her on the phone at least a half dozen times, and each time she said she would get back to me with an answer. And guess what, Baba? That turned into 5 months.
Let's pause it there. Again, let's keep in mind, Umar Johnson has exposed his jump off her ex-girlfriend, text message, pictures, everything on his account. Why not post the emails that you sent to the city of Wilmington to show, like, hey, I did reach out? Why not, if you're claiming that they're trying to sabotage you and you spoke with this woman several times on the phone, why not record the audio so you can post on your social media to show, hey, I am trying to make an effort. They're intentionally avoiding my emails. They're intentionally not responding back to me. Again, it just never makes any sense with Umar when it comes to this FDMG, school scam. It doesn't make any sense that in one instance, you have no problem showing screenshots of text messages and exposing other people. But yet when it comes to this school, you never have any proof. Well, we just had to just take your word for it.
No response.
Wow.
5 months, no response. And then the Secretary of Delinquent Accounts, because what I did was I sent the email to the Chief of Staff of the Mayor, not the Deputy Chief of Staff. The man who sent this email to the YouTubers, Baba, he ain't got nothing to do with nothing because I didn't include him in the correspondence. So you speaking about things you know nothing about, and you are being untruthful and dishonest and blatantly lying in what you are saying. So he wasn't even in the email trail. It was the Deputy Chief of Staff. It was the Commissioner for L&I. It was the Secretary for Delinquent Accounts and the Secretary for Vacant Properties. So I emailed them and I asked 3 questions, Baba. And guess what? Nobody has answered the questions yet.
Wow.
They answered everything but my question. These are the 3 questions. Why didn't the Secretary of Vacant Properties respond to my constant emails and constant phone calls seeking clarity, Baba?
They never
seeking
answered.
clarity. And I got none. I asked why. Were we not due a response? How are we supposed to do things the right way if you can't even pick up a phone and return a voicemail? You can't even return an email. I asked, why did we get no response for 5 months? I got no answer. And then I asked, why didn't we get any follow-up mail, Baba, from March to August about the sheriff lien? Because here's what I was thinking, Baba. My thought was this. They're not responding to my emails. They're not responding to my phone calls. So because we paid $30,000 in water, half the debt was paid. I assume they're going to leave us alone.
Let's pause right there because this makes absolutely no sense. What do you having to pay $30,000 for water have to do with vacant property fees that have accrued? Again, it just makes no sense. He was well aware that he owed this money. He was well aware. So it shouldn't have been a surprise when you've owing a substantial amount of money and this building ends up on the vacant property list. Honestly, I'm really starting to believe that this was Umar Johnson's way out. This was going to be his out. And what happened was the YouTubers got a hold of the information and brought it to YouTube and exposed it just in enough time so where now Umar Johnson could not play dumb and act like he had no idea that the school was up for the sheriff's cell. That's what I truly honestly believe when I really start to think about this and break it down. I believe Umar Johnson was well aware that that school was on going up for sheriff's cell and was going to let the building be auctioned off. And then he was going to throw his hands up and say, well, they never gave me any notice. I didn't know anything. But what wound up happening is the YouTubers, and this is why people get upset and say, why are you making so many videos on Umar Johnson? Because if it wasn't for the YouTubers, the small, the on the boots on the ground, real media, keeping their foot on Umar Johnson's neck, I'm telling you, he was going to let this school go up for sheriff's cell. He was going to lose it. Then he was going to turn around and try to blame the city of Wilmington and say, I did not know. They didn't give us any notice. And he was going to play dumb. But when the YouTubers got a hold of that information and it was still a week left, it forced Umar Johnson's hand and he could not play dumb any longer. And he ultimately had to come up with a plan to save that school. Again, this clip is over an hour and 20 minutes long. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to watch the whole thing. But that's the long and short of it here. I honestly believe he was trying to finesse and was going to let this school be auctioned off, but it was for the YouTubers who sounded their alarm and again used their social media platforms to bring attention and awareness. And then it went viral. That's why everywhere you go, you saw on social media, they were talking about Umar Johnson, the bank is frozen, bank accounts are frozen, now the school is up for sheriff's sale. And he had to respond and he could no longer play dumb. Um, that's the long and short of the video here. Again, like I said, I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to watch the whole clip. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.